This is hour 6.
Where's King?
She stepped out for a second.
She probably left again.
No, she has been here all day.
I thought you said you had work to do this week.
I do. Getting to teach this final lesson to you, that is part of my work. Wow, it is bright in here.
Oh,
There we go. Woo! I can see into the future.
you look so you go snitch.
It depends on who it is.
Say I can get a murder.
Hey, guys, I want you to remember you're being recorded. And what does it mean when you guys walk in and there is a stopwatch on the board? What does it normally mean that I want you to do? You guys have a bell ringer?
Hey.
My kid's on the line.
And your bell ringer is songs versus poetry.
What versus what?
Uh-huh.
What you got a timer on the board?
What do I have a timer on the board
You can't
for?
say Tom Bell ring because the bell ain't ring yet. Why are considered bright time?
Okay. Right? There is a timer, there is a bell ringer. I should not see anybody's phones. And if I'm playing music, there's a reason, so please take out your earbuds. And the song I'm playing behind here relates to your assignment.
King got to go get started.
Oh, Miss King is taking care of Miss King business. Hey, Jazz. Zip it up. I can see your tummy. And it's a nice tummy, but the school rules say I can't see it.
Okay, but I have to go to Coach B class.
Go. I have to teach, so go.
Wait, can I just
You're
go?
g- Well, you've got to go to Coach B's, right?
Yeah, I got to Coach B.
Well, then do it quickly.
Go to Coach B.
Go to Coach B and then get back.
I'm saying I'm doing something like 2020, so
I'm saying bye.
I know when I get home though.
It's an assignments. Baby, go get a tardy slip.
I was a teacher.
I need a note from that teacher or I need a tardy slip.
I was Miss King.
I still need a note from her. Where was
She's
she?
the teacher in this class.
Is she?
Yes, Miss King.
Is she out in the hall?
She just sent me here.
You're lucky I just confirmed it with her. Okay. Where's my marker? There's my marker.
Why is there two of the same thing?
Do what?
Two of the same thing.
Do either or. When I was putting it in, I copied it to some of the classes. You know how sometimes Miss King gets it in there twice? Same thing. Okay. All right, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, I'm going to read our objective, what we're doing and why. While I am reading this, I would like you to go into Canvas and go to today's assignment, which says TP Cast. Okay, so today we're going to analyze a poem for its meaning. We're going to look at the language. We're going to blow it up. And we're going to look for clues about extended metaphors. And if this is your first time hearing the word extended metaphor, you're probably wondering, what is that? We'll get to that in a bit. But for now, we're going to go on to how the next hour is going to go. You guys have just completed the first 8 minutes. We've gotten our bell ringer done. We're going to read and discuss the poem. We're going to do some quick vocabulary while we analyze the poem. And the whole time we're doing that, the analyzing will be filling out the TP Cast form. To fill out the TP Cast form, I want you to pop it out. There's a little arrow at the top that allows you to pop it out, and I want you to open it as a Google Doc. And that will allow you to type right on the form and then submit it. And I will grade it Thursday. You may have to sign into Google to get it as a Google Doc. That's been happening today and it's normal. And then when we get to the end, we're going to do a quiz is. My hour 5 got to the quiz is, and they also got to find out the trivia that we're doing as a closure. Now, I know you guys can definitely top what hour 5 did, right?
Of course.
I know you guys are going to participate more. Because what happens when you guys see the ring light?
We you can exam.
That's right. And I know you would rather have my supervisor see you guys than 5th hour, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. I mean, she got to see you guys last week. Why not show her how brilliant we still are? That wasn't a fluke at all, was it? In fact, I think the first class she saw was your guys's. So are we looking at a 3-peat? Let's do it. Either that or I might have to depend on 7th hour. No, we ain't letting 7th hour have that glory. All right. So everybody's got their TP cast out, right? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the poem. Actually, no, before I do that, I got ahead of myself. Does anyone in here read or write their own, or read poetry for fun, or even write their own poetry? I like seeing the hands. I've probably written poetry since I could write. No one's surprised that I became an English teacher. But I do see a couple of hands. And do you mind me being nosy and asking why you write, or would you rather keep that private? It's okay if you want to keep it private, but if you want to tell me after class, I would love to know why you write. I write because it helps me figure out my feelings, or there might have been an important event that is just so big that I want to memorialize it with poetry. All right? Whenever you're reading somebody else's poetry, do you ever have trouble analyzing it and figuring it out? Yeah. By a show of hands, who finds it difficult sometimes to analyze poetry? Okay, so even my people who write poetry find it difficult. Okay? What makes it hard? What makes analyzing poetry difficult?
How they put the words.
Okay. Sometimes it depends on the type. Okay, you said the words that they use. Tell me about those words that poets use. What makes them difficult?
Sometimes they be like, they use a lot of symbolism, and like you probably can't make the connection.
Okay, they use symbolism and it's hard to make the connection sometimes. Okay, what other reasons do we have trouble analyzing poetry?
To understand the meaning
Okay. All right, and normally what they're trying to say is what we call an extended metaphor. A poet takes a small idea, a small thing, and they expand it out to something bigger. Another thing that we could call an expanded metaphor is a theme. It's that underlying thing of what the poem is about. So if you see theme, think expanded metaphor. If you see the word expanded metaphor, think theme. Okay? Because you'll find later that a lot of songs have extended metaphors. Movies can be extended metaphors. Poetry, books. You'll find it a lot. And it's a great way to start thinking. When you look at a poem, ask yourself, what is the extended metaphor? So I want to read John Keats's poem, The Human Seasons. I just really right now want you to listen to it. So I want to see everybody's eyeballs. I want to be able to look into your beautiful faces. And I just want you to listen, okay? By the way, this poem was written in 1818. John Keats was a young man. In fact, he did die very young. So I want you to keep that in mind as well. Right. 4 seasons fill the measure of a year. There are 4 seasons in the mind of man. He has his lively spring when fancy clear takes in all beauty with an easy span. He has his summer when luxuriously spring's honeyed cud of youthful thought he loves to ruminate, and by such dreaming high is nearest to heaven. Quiet coves his soul has in its autumn, when his wings he furls close, contented to look on mist and idleness, to let fair things pass by unheeded as a threshold brook. He has his winter too of pale misfeature, or else he would give up his mortal nature. So, after hearing that and getting to read it, let's go to the TP cast, okay? And you guys should already have this open. You guys are ready to do some typing as we talk, aren't you? Because we want to get to that quizzes. And we want to get to that trivia, right? By the way, Miss King, hour 5, got to quizzes. All right. So the title of the poem, just right now, your best guess, the title is The Human Seasons. What does that mean? Because we know as we analyze, our first idea is going to change, right? All right. Now we're going to paraphrase parts of the poem. What does it mean to paraphrase?
Put in your own words.
To analyze, that's okay, because in order to put it in your own words, you have to analyze it. And thank you, Jordan, for telling me that we're going to put it in our own words. So let's take a look and let's do some analysis. Oops, that's not it. This is, okay. And I'm going to make this bigger so that you guys can see it more easily. All right. You guys are able to see this in the back? Awesome. And everybody's phone is put away because the most important thing in the world is right here on this board. So, okay. Let's do some paraphrasing so we can figure this out. 4 seasons fill the measure of the year. What are the 4 seasons, and can you name them for me in order that they occur?
Spring, summer, fall. Oh, winter, fall. It's fall.
I don't. It's funny. We for some reason we want to say winter, fall, but it's spring, summer, fall, winter. I think it's those double syllables. We want to put those double syllables together. But yes, spring, summer, winter, fall.
You just said it wrong.
You said it wrong.
I love it. I love it. You guys got me because it's those syllables. We put them together. I don't know why we do that. But so spring, summer, fall, winter. All right. So there are 4 seasons in the mind of man. How would we paraphrase that? That way the reader knows what we're talking about. Okay, there's 4 seasons in the year, and there's 4 seasons in the mind of man. Yes, Kyrie.
As the seasons pass, one's mentality changes.
Okay, awesome. I want you to break that down from that amazing academic language, and I want you to tell me in little words.
As seasons pass, your mind changes with the seasons.
Okay, I want to stay with that. I want to stay with that because I want to replace some words. If I read this again and say there are 4 stages in the life of man, how does that change our idea of seasons? All right. I'm going to help you guys out because this is where poetry gets a little hard. We have found our first metaphor, and we're going to expand on it.
Like the season, like the age group.
Say it loud.
The season is like being compared to the ages of
Exactly. We're using seasons to compare to the ages of man. And typically, how long does a man live? Or woman?
70.
All right, I've heard 60, I've heard 70, 80, I've heard 90. But just to make the math easy, let's say a typical man lives to about age 80. That gives us 4 seasons to break our lifespan into. So, how old are you? What's your age range when you're in the spring of your life? If we're ending at 80, what?
Like 0 to
20.
0 to like 50.
20.
0 to 20. Have you taught this lesson before, Jordan?
I ain't about
Have you? You haven't discussed this before? You're just a genius. All right. All right. I like it. I like it. So yes, we could safely say that ages birth to about 20 would be spring. So if ages birth to 20 are spring, what ages are you in summer? 21 to 40. I like it. And if we're going into the fall of your life, what age are you in the fall of your life? 41 to 60. Okay, and someone else besides Jordan, tell me how old we are in the winter of our life. 61 to 80. I heard that from several places, so I'm going to tell your math teacher that you guys are really great at division and multiplication. All right. Now, just for fun, what season are you currently in? Awesome. What season? What if we know that Keats, the poet, didn't live into... About how old do you think this poet is?
Like right now? Right now?
Okay, he sounds like maybe he's 30-something, and we've discussed that 30-something is what season? Summer. So yes, I would fairly say that the poet is in the summer of his life. What season am I in?
Probably spring.
I'm in fall. God, no, I wouldn't go back to spring for nothing. I don't know. I've got a few different ideas. I'd have gone to college a lot sooner. But yes, I am in the fall of my life. I'll turn 45 this August.
I think it's really winter first because they said winter do carry into the next year.
I mean, but at the start of the year, it's winter.
All right.
First new season.
You guys are in your spring. It feels a little winter. There's cold days in winter, but not all of them. All right. Is there a teacher here who is in the winter of their life?
Probably Miss Johnson. No.
All right, and I'm not familiar with Miss Johnson, but yes.
Miss Coleman told my mama.
All right, I'm going to admit the only teacher that I'm familiar with here who may be in the winter of his life is Mr. Vance.
Oh yeah.
So it gives you a symbol to put with that age, that season. So if we were to paraphrase these 2 lines, how would we paraphrase that? There's 4 seasons in the measure of a year, and there are 4 seasons in the mind of man. What are you going to put into your TP cast to paraphrase that? Ooh, your phone's got a light on it. Put it in your pocket because I don't want to see it. The light's distracting me. Thank you. All right. So now that you guys have paraphrased those first 2 lines, because you guys did type a paraphrase into the blank, right? I know you guys are busy carrying the class, but I need to see your fingers doing this. I love that clacking sound. So give me a good paraphrase. I think my caffeine is kicked in, y'all.
It's cold.
It is about 70 degrees and my sweet spring children, it's a little chilly. Paraphrase it into 1 sentence. Yes, those first 2 lines. All right. So let's go on to the next part. All right. We're going to look at the connotation of the words in the poem. We're going to look for a phrase that has good connotation, and we're going to look for a phrase that has negative connotation. So you'll label your TP cast with the words positive and negative, and we're going to go through the poem to see if we can't find phrases and words with positive connotation and negative connotation. And when I say it like that, what do I mean by positive connotation?
Happy.
The good part.
Happy and joyful.
Good.
All right, we're looking for words that make us feel happy and joyful. If I say negative connotation, what am I looking for? Words that somebody besides Jordan is going to tell me about.
Negative connotation, like conversation, sad, bad connotation.
All right.
Negative.
Might denote negative feelings or conflict. So let's take a look at the poem again and find something good. We've already gone through the first 2 lines, so we're going to come down and do these lines here. So
We still paraphrasing these.
we're looking for phrases with good and or with negative and positive connotation. We're looking for positive first. So if I say, he has his lively spring when fancy clear, what does it mean?
Just use the line after that.
Okay. I do want to make sure, someone said something about one of the difficult parts of analyzing a poem, though, was some of the words that they use. So how does Keats use the word fancy? What does he mean by fancy here?
Describing how you felt during the spring.
Okay, it describes how he felt during the spring, but what does that mean?
He has like a clear mind.
Clear mind, okay. Has anyone in here ever read or seen the movies Harry Potter?
No. I was thinking too.
Okay, do you remember the second Harry Potter, where they're going to, oh my God, I can't believe I can, y'all, my memory is coming back. I haven't read Harry Potter in a long time. When they go into Flourish and Blots for their papers, for their school supplies, and Gilderoy Lockhart is there, and he's all flirty and big smiley.
I don't remember none of it.
He was so fake. He didn't do none of the stuff he said he was doing. They got him in the end now.
They did. I love it. I love it. But Ron said something about Gilderoy Lockhart. He says, "Oh, Mum fancies him." What did he mean by Mum fancies him?
Like mine.
They like, yes. So in this case, because Keats is an English poet, we can fairly say that the word fancy here is the same as the verb meaning to like or to have a crush on.
It's British slang.
It's right, it's British slang. So he has his lively spring when fancy clear takes in all beauty with an easy span. Where's our positive connotation in those two lines? Takes in all beauty.
I put lively.
Lively. Okay. Any other positive connotations in there?
Fancy.
Fancy clear.
All right. He likes everything and he's very clear about it. You know, he's taken in all that beauty, and it could be beauty of person, it could be beauty of place. So yes, he's got his clear mind and he's obviously liking it. And when he's talking about with an easy span, he's able to see. So he has his summer when luxuriously, and what's luxuriously? Fancy,
Expensive.
expensive. Tell me about these expensive things. What makes expensive things luxurious? Quality.
Material. Who said the material?
I love it. The material. How do we feel about that material? If we've got a luxurious, quality, expensive material.
Confident.
I wouldn't really say confident, but we're describing the word luxurious. If you're thinking of a luxurious material,
You don't want nobody else to touch you.
you don't want anyone else to touch it. Okay. Why?
It's expensive. One of the
All right. Let's think of a luxury car. Tell me about that leather that's in it. What's it feel like?
Besides it gets stupid high when it's hot outside, you like burn it.
Okay, let's think of that leather car in the spring. It's a beautiful day. Let's go. Heck, let's drive a convertible, and it's a gorgeous day.
Look good when
What's that leather feel like?
It's hot.
smooth.
Smooth. What else? What else do we associate with leather?
It's gonna be hot because it's hot outside.
What happens when it's hot? What happens to leather when it's hot? Mm-hmm. Does anybody else enjoy that leather smell? Oh, I know. That's like one of my favorite smells in the world. Whenever I'll walk into the Wilson's leather store just to inhale.
And just start sniffing around.
I just start smelling it. Yes. I'm the only weirdo? Okay.
We discussed it. What they talking about?
We want to hear it louder because I bet you've got some great insights. Talking about the cars? Okay. I want to participate in that conversation too. Okay, so yes.
In the car. No, we was talking. We was saying, cause like y'all had said that y'all like
Guys, let's listen.
the leather in the car, and I was like, I like the smell of gas.
Okay.
I like the
That's okay. I like that smell too. If you guys haven't figured out, I am all about my nose. So yeah, I like the smell of gasoline.
Gasoline smell good.
But they put that smell in that to as a warning. So it's no surprise that you enjoy it, but we know that when we smell that, we need to be careful. So it's okay to enjoy the smell of gas while you're pumping your gas. Okay, so let's take a look at the next line. You know, where he's talking about, you know, he has his summer, you know, where he's thinking about on the spring of his youth and how lively he was. He's thinking about spring's honeyed cud of youthful thought he loves. What's cud? All right, I don't want you to look it up. Please don't look it up. I'm gonna give you the short version. Have y'all ever been around cows? What goes on with cows' mouths? What are they always doing? They're chewing. They're chewing, they're licking, but
Could that stuff on the side of your mouth like the skin?
no, that's their cheek. Oh, and it's so delicious. But
Wait, what?
I'm just gonna say this. Go to a Hispanic grocery store, go to a real taco place, not this, Tex-Mex, fajita BS, or this, go to a real place, go to a real taco place like La Michoacana. It's right there on Uri Drive, right where, you're nodding your head, you've been? You know exactly what I'm talking about with those cheek tacos. They are so good, aren't they? Oh. So, and one of the reasons why that meat is so tender and delicious is because the cow is always chewing its cud. And that cud is what happens when they chew grass. Grass is difficult for them to digest, so it goes into their stomach and it comes back up and they chew it some more. It's this whole cycle, but yes, that's why they're constantly chewing. And that's why that cheek meat is so delicious, because it's constantly being used. So yes, not only is he looking at the idea of cud being something that's constantly being done, but he's added honey to it. He's added the idea, he's added the idea of honeyed cud. So he's thinking very sweet thoughts. He keeps these sweet thoughts in his head. So, because it tells us right there, spring's honeyed cud of youthful thought he loves.
And the negative is all the way at the end.
I want you to keep good when we come down to the negative connotation. I want you to keep that for me, okay? Awesome. So to ruminate, and what does it mean to ruminate? To think, yes. Did you get that from the context clues, or did you Google? Oh, you guys rock.
What you looking at? It says such dream inside the thing.
I like it. I like the way you guys are making connections. Yes, to ruminate by such dreaming high as nearest to heaven, quiet coves, his soul has its autumn. We're talking about middle age there. When his wings he furls close. And from the context clues, what does furls mean?
Comes cut.
He furls close.
Like
When his wings he furls close. What his wings?
bird.
And what do birds do with their
They
wings?
fly.
They fly, but their wings are out like this.
He moves closer.
So if wings are furled,
They come.
that's right. He's holding it close. Thank you. So we can get that from context clues too. On mist and idleness, what's it mean to be idle? Still, yes. To let fair things pass by unheeded, as a threshold brook. So he means here that he's not paying no mind to that brook that's even at its threshold of water. So, he's just walking on by it. He's just happily thinking about those thoughts of spring. He has his winter of too pale misfeature. Oops. When we talk about, when we ask you to talk about somebody's face, what are we talking about?
The features.
Their features, okay. So if we're talking about somebody's features, do what?
Mixed features mean wrong features.
Wrong
So
features.
that means he don't like winter.
Okay, why do you think he might not like winter?
So,
Cold. What happens to people in winter? What happens to their features?
they get sick,
Turn blue.
We get sick. Okay.
they die.
If we start out with regular features and then it devolves into misfeatures, what are the misfeatures of an old person in winter? In the winter of their life, what do they look like?
Wrinkled, pale, they be looking tired.
Wrinkled,
Sick a lot.
pale, sick, anything from over here. I want to hear some more voices back here.
They
What?
stay in the hospital.
Okay.
That's what I kind of said.
And what does somebody who's been staying in the hospital look like? Okay. So he's saying that he has all these misfeatures, or else he would give up his mortal nature.
So for connotation, we just copy and paste the line we think that's positive or negative.
It's not gonna let you go.
Yes.
I don't know if it'll let you copy and paste, but yes. So for connotation, give me a phrase with a positive connotation and one with negative connotation. And thank you so much for all your input back there, Mr. Moore. I appreciate that.
That's so much you pay for.
So there we are with our connotation. Oh, there we go.
Demon.
I am not sure what happened, but okay. All right. So now that we've gone through the connotation, what about the attitude? What attitude does our author have? I hear a bunch of different voices. Raise a hand if you've got an answer. My good friend in the back.
Neutral.
Mutual. What kind of mutual feelings does he have? What kind of attitude?
Because he's talking about the good and the bad. So he really can't say which one it is. He's talking about both.
Okay. All right, so he kind of goes back and forth. Okay.
He said neutral.
Neutral. Oh, neutral. Okay. And I did something with my mouse here, so I was trying to figure out what happened here. Okay. So he's got a neutral attitude. Well, what does he like?
He like his younger days, like his younger ages.
Okay. What is he scared of?
He's scared of winter.
All right, he's scared of winter. Why is he scared of winter?
Because that's
Gonna get old.
Say he ain't gonna look the
getting
same.
old.
He's scared of how he's going to change. So in attitude, you can start out with the attitude at the beginning and tell me how it changes. So go ahead and type that down. While you're typing that down, how does the poem shift? And we can answer that using what we know about his attitude. How does his attitude change?
When he started talking about winter, he started telling us what he didn't like.
All right. So that's where the shift is. All right. And now that we've had time to analyze the poem, what does the title mean to you now? Remember, the title is The Human Seasons. All right. And with all of these, what is the underlying theme of the poem? What is that expanded metaphor?
Human.
We start out with We start out with that first line where we talk about there's 4 seasons in a year, and then we expand that metaphor to seasons of what?
Your life.
There you go. Type it down. Have I told you guys today how brilliant I think you guys are? It's days like this, I really love my job. Especially since now, because you guys are so brilliant, we get to go to quizzes. So when you have done that, go ahead and go into quizzes.
Which one that's the boss?
The theme. Oh, I hear some pops. All right. This quiz has a different poem to it. I think it also gives you a little bit of extra time since there's some reading involved. I already heard a pop. I'm going to go ahead and start. I want you guys to pay careful attention to each question. Okay?
Now, how you want us to submit it?
I'm not in that. Wait, what are we doing?
Once you have submitted your TP cast, or if you want, it's to open until tomorrow. But I do want you guys to start moving over to the quiz is.
How you submit? Do we join this? Wait, do we submit?
You may submit that. Yes, once you've got, does it give you an option?
I know how to do it, I think.
I think it,
I know how to do it.
Okay, Ms. King, how do they submit?
You will do it as, so you saved it, it's in your Google Drive, you will do it as a file upload.
Okay,
Submit it as a file upload, and pull it from your Google Drive.
all right. Would you guys like me to keep the music here? Or would you like me to mute it, maybe put on a little more pop?
you can do it. That's annoying.
There we go.
You done, right? You want me to submit out there?
Okay, wait a minute, cause I miss, how you put it, once you put it in, once you put it in the sign.
Click this, you move to the assignment, and when you press submit, you drive.
Oh, look, mine was in here.
I'll start it on the start of Genesis, back.
I don't know how to submit it. I don't know how to.
Okay, then you should.
You play the real song?
No.
You play the clean version?
We got tight.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome. Alright, hey, will you do me a favor? Will you go into your Google Drive? Will you write down the steps that you did and send it to us? That is awesome. Is there anything you guys are noticing about this poem?
Everything's wrong so far.
I ain't even read.
Oh, I like the leaderboard, look at it, 78%, let's see if we can boost it on up to 85 at least.
Actually, I was passing by, and I'll admit, I don't always agree with some of the answers.
I got a question.
Yes, baby.
So when making it call the moon, what is another word that you could use for like the moon? Like,
It don't even tell us if it's
Trying
right
to
or
make
wrong.
you feel a particular.
How does it make you feel?
But I don't know.
This poem.
it's cold.
Okay.
She'll go over it.
Some of my answers is wrong.
It's okay, we will,
82%, here we go, we about to hit the 85.
it's okay, wrong is okay, because we can talk about wrong and we can fix wrong.
How does it make you feel?
Oh,
That's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm going stupid. Barely.
I'm like,
But
man.
you was a hater,
Yeah,
but
they had
you
no
And I'll admit, poetry is, it's like some of the more difficult things in, it's like some of the most difficult things in literature, because a lot of times, just like art, it's subjective.
Yes.
You may see something that's completely different from what the author had in mind. It's kind of like a painting. You may see one thing in a painting, and I see something else, and it's all based on our life experience. So a lot of times, if we can just pick out those themes, and if we can just enjoy it for its beauty, and to me, that's the biggest idea about, that's the biggest idea that comes to me from poetry. But who wrote the poem that you guys are looking at right now?
Sharaka.
Tupac Shakur.
So now, to answer our bell ringer question, what did that music at the beginning have to do with our lesson? I was bringing you guys to Tupac.
No.
I loved him more in the second movie than I loved him in the first.
Oh, the new song. I thought you were gonna sing the same song. Come on.
I think it's that age thing. I was able to appreciate that bit of ridiculousness.
You so official, but student athlete.
That's a
Did any of you guys last night go home and watch Poetic Justice?
Oh, trust me.
I seen that. I seen
I didn't
that.
think
I used to I used to do it. How you
Slow
spell
down,
through?
slow down.
How you spell through? Class.
Come on now.
Jamie!
How
Boy,
you
look
spell?
in that locker and get you some Cheetos.
Come on now, slow down.
How you spell
All right.
How you spell through, David?
What?
Through.
Way to go, Dustin!
How you spell through?
Oh, look who came through and knocked you down.
I like it.
Late
I
Thursday.
like it.
But you just heard
And we don't finish it tomorrow.
Way to go.
Thursday until after, like,
Go,
Thursday.
Dustin.
I know, but what is
Still, Roy?
And my fish on it.
Way to go, Mims.
Just
It's
make
not
sure
what
you
you
got-
have.
All right.
Jamie.
Okay, we've still got a few people.
Oh, somebody.
Let's see who else the heavy hitters are.
Yeah, student athlete. Student athlete.
I don't even have enough snacks to give to everybody.
All right. If you are done, I want you to exit this, and I've got 2 questions for you guys to Google for me, okay? All right, guys. If you have finished,
We only got 4 just from eating.
if you guys have finished, all right. Normally, I would have had you guys look it up, but there was something that connected Keats to Tupac. John Keats died at age 25. He died from tuberculosis. Tupac Shakur died by gunshot wounds
At what age?
at age 25.
I mean, he not dead for real, but I get it.
Good job, y'all.
So